Laserdisc, although not competing with VHS, was a video format that was created around the same time as VHS, albeit a year later, attempted to create an elite format for consumers. Originally marketed as MCA Discovision or simply Discovision at the height of the disco craze, when Pioneer took over manufacturing in 1980 after the MCA pulled out, it was decided to ultimately instead to remarket the famed as Laservision. Originally coming with only one speed, known as CAV, the technology used Laserdisc eventually would go on to be used to create the CD format in the early 80s. Over time, Laserdisc would advance much features including better picture quality than VHS, including even better sound quality than VHS. Originally only coming with mono soundtracks, eventually stereo, and eventually a new format known as CLV, constant linear velocity, which allowed for 60 minutes of storage, compared to CAV, constant angular velocity, which allowed for only 30 minutes of storage, but allowed for things such as stale mode, freeze frame, and frame-by-frame technology. Eventually, with improvements such as CX noise reduction and many other things, including Dolby Surround for both analog and digital tracks, allowing for Laserdisc to have a massive foothold over VHS, never materialized. Although VHS was still dominant, allowing for recording speeds, Laserdisc was simply a collector's market, being used mainly by collectors. Eventually, in the early 90s, it would have some massive improvements, such as THX certification coming along in early 1993, allowing for the better picture quality under their testing standards. Eventually, in the mid-90s, it allowed for 5.1 digital tracks to be made, with the first titles going out in 1995 for Dolby and in 1997 for DTS. Despite these improvements to technology, there was attempts to create a newer format as early as the mid-1990s, which eventually turned into the DVD format. Despite early success on DVD, massively exploded over the course of the next few years. Eventually, slowly but surely, it began to be discontinued worldwide. Laserdisc's final PAL territory release came in early 2000. Next was the United States, which had their final release in early November of 2000. Japan continued with the format, including some Japanese exclusive titles that never made its way into the US due to it being released too late into the format, continued until 2001. Pioneer continued to make players and stuff until the end of 2009.